Alright, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. I hope y'all are ready because today we're going to learn a valuable lesson on why being straight might be a curse. Guys, I was kidding. Come on. I said maybe. Something I think just about everyone can agree on is that relationships can be a little tricky sometimes. You know, like no matter how happy or in love you are, things can come up. Even something small like your partner putting the TV volume at an odd number, or the smell of their favorite food makes you want to throw up, or when you're trying to watch the big game and your wife just won't shut the hell up. Am I right, fellas? Like, yeah, it turns out this video was just written by an old stand-up comic that just hated his wife. And those times can be pretty scary, like especially when the little things build up and it causes a strain between you two. And thankfully there's therapy and counseling to help couples through that to try and avoid the big scary word, divorce. But today we're going to learn there's a new modern way to keep your marriage strong and thriving, and that's just becoming influencers. Why learn healthy communication skills when you could just shove a camera in each other's face at every opportunity? Just start a podcast and record your passive-aggressive complaints about each other, and then post it and try to pass it off as relationship advice. Why would you and your partner be mad at each other when you're raking in that sweet, sweet TikTok revenue? And I probably just described like a lot of couples on the internet right now, but there's one in particular that's been sprinkled across my FYP from time to time, and I finally fell down the rabbit hole and looked into them and realized we all need to know less about each other. I already had to endure it, so now so do all of you. So the couple we're talking about today is Matt and Abby, and at first they just seem like your typical influencer couple. You know, high school sweethearts that got married in college because of course they did. You know, it was either that or they met in college and got married like 2 or 3 months later because they loved each other a lot, you know, not because they wanted to have sex without God getting mad at them about it. The first time I learned about them was a clip from their podcast, because of course they have a podcast, where they talked about unique baby names.
I'm gonna be honest with you, it does kind of bug me. Some of the names that are out there nowadays are just like... Oh my god. Your kid a name that's really cute for a kid, but then they don't have a name that could be an adult name. That is scary.
And while I thought it was a little weird, I didn't think it was like the worst thing I'd ever heard. Like obviously people can name their baby whatever has a lot of meaning to them. But on the other hand, you have people that were naming their baby things like Megatron or Caitlin or number 16 bus shelter. Did you name the baby after where it was conceived at? Oh, this is my little bundle of joy, the Sears changing room. So after seeing that, I just kind of shrugged it off and didn't think about them for a while. But then I came across another video where they gave more unsolicited opinions, but about each other.
I just find you very attractive.
Yeah, I find you very attractive too.
And there was a time where I did not.
Same.
Isn't that so funny how our brain can do that though?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hilarious, girl. This isn't the first time I've heard straight people say something like this, and I don't get it, like, ever. I'd understand if, like, you had zero interest in a relationship with them until you got to know them a little bit better. But if that was the case, I really hope you would just, like, say that. You know, call me crazy, like, maybe I'm just not like other guys. But I think it's fine to, like, pursue something with a person you're attracted to just to see where things go. And I'm not even saying, like, you have to date somebody that's conventionally good looking, or in this case, like, he was a model for a Sears catalog from 2007. I also don't like how ready Matt was to like agree with her.
And there was a time where I did not.
Same.
Like you can pretend to hesitate a little bit. She also goes on to say that your brain like tricks you into finding somebody attractive if they have a nice personality.
But also, your brain can literally paint someone to look so differently
100%
via their personality.
But I don't think their brains are painting them in a different light. I think they just so happen to like their spouse, you know? Like maybe your brain needs to trick you, but what do I know? Like I don't have a podcast. Or a husband that looks like he should be an extra in Grown Ups too. So yeah, that definitely piqued my curiosity a little bit. So I dove a little deeper into my research, which is code for I watched more of their TikToks, because they can't all be that weird, right?
Were you nervous for the wedding night?
I was so ready.
No, that's okay. We really don't need to.
We left our wedding at 9 o'clock on the dot.
Did you feel nervous?
Yeah.
I think I was really excited.
And then it like lasts like 3 minutes.
Shut up. I thought it was good.
All right, cool. Were you gonna order anything or not? Because like you're holding up the line right now, and I'm not gonna make fun of them for saving themselves for marriage or anything like that. But I will say they're acting like they didn't know what sex was until the day they got married. Like they were just sitting there at the reception, and then out of nowhere, Matt's just like, "Wait, we get to what? Are you serious? baby, we need to go right now. It's already 9 o'clock. It's past my bedtime. We gotta hurry.
It was definitely special.
It was
but then
super special.
It was. And then I feel like the next day we did like 5 times.
Shut up. You cannot put this online.
Okay, damn. All right, Matt. Dirty fucking dog. Chill, man. And I'm sure those 5 times were the best 8 minutes of his life. Oh, you and your wife had intercourse? Get the fuck out of here. I'm surprised your channel's not age restricted yet, which I hope it doesn't, because then people wouldn't get to hear riveting conversations like this.
Does it feel different down there after birth?
Yeah, actually.
I beg your pardon? Yeah, you know, now that you mention it.
Say whatever.
Still like it after?
I still like it, of course.
You like it as much?
I would say so.
It doesn't sound very...
I think I like it pretty good.
Matt, don't say it like that. Just say yes. She asks you if you like it the same. You say, yes, I like it exactly the same. That's it. That's all you gotta say. Honey, I am so grateful that you blessed us with 2 beautiful children. I love this life that we're building together, but I need to be honest with you. Your pussy's kind of mid. Like, it's fine. Like, it gets the job done, but... Okay, let's move on, because I'd never want to hear any of that, like, ever again. So instead, why don't we hear about Matt's big issue with Father's Day?
We've decided as a family that we are not celebrating Father's Day this year.
Father's Day, it's always in June, and it's like always
Last year
around...
was June 18th, which is Matt's birthday. So
Yes.
he had Father's Day and his birthday on the same day. And
So sad.
I will say I did kind of combine the holidays.
You did combine the 2 of them. It's okay, though. I mean, you were pregnant, you were uncomfortable, you were
We
close.
just gotten back from our baby moon that day. I got you a cake from DQ.
I guess we had
and
just
had
gotten
our
home.
family over and grilled. To be honest with you, I failed you. I'm
Hey,
so sorry.
but you know what? This year, we're boycotting Father's Day for the month of June and celebrating it 3 months after my birthday.
Yeah, I don't really know where to start with this one. So how about we start with... get the fuck over yourself. Like, if you want to do something special for both days, then fine, but you can do them on 2 different days. Like, do Father's Day on the actual day, and then later in the week, you can go to, I don't know, fucking Cheesecake Factory or something. I also don't understand putting it on your pregnant wife to, like, plan and execute a celebration for you, let alone 2, especially the same day that you just got back from a vacation. Like, she got you a cake, she got your family together, you got to grill, which is a lot of fun to do. Maybe I'm just playing Fatherhood Simulator because that sounds like a really good fucking day to me. Maybe I'm already playing Fatherhood Simulator because I make noises when I sit down, but that's besides the point. But they decide on celebrating Father's Day 3 months later, which feels weirder to me. Like, imagine them talking to their waiter at Cheesecake Factory. All right, thanks for stopping by. Are we celebrating any special occasions today? Oh yeah, we're actually doing a late Father's Day dinner. Oh, that's always fun. Well, congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, we know it's a little out of the ordinary, but you know, my wife thought that you were allowed to combine like a birthday dinner with Father's Day, and I get that she was pregnant, but I didn't think a pregnancy would make you that fucking stupid. Oh. So I was going to do the mozzarella sticks, and that was where I gave up on like listening to them talk about each other, so I went to their normal TikTok account. And before I get to the weirdo shit, I want to bring up something that I just thought was funny. So they made a TikTok about sleeping in different beds to accommodate their babies' feeding schedules, which is totally understandable for parents, especially like for newborns. But there's a part where he talks about like putting in an AirPod while he feeds the baby, so it's like less screaming and crying in his ear, which I totally get, but I think it's funny to think about like something happening and Abby's like yelling for him. Matt, we need to go right now. There's been an accident. Okay, it was Matt, we need to go. Come. Oh my God, his fucking AirPods are in. No, Matt, come on. You only have one in. I know you can hear me. All right, so back to the main topic. There's this one where their water gets shut off because Matt never paid their water bill.
Apparently our water got shut off because we haven't paid our bill in 7 months.
What are you doing?
Dude, I thought it was on auto pay. I thought for sure.
You have to set up auto pay for it to be on auto pay.
I was pretty sure that I set it up on auto pay and it just didn't work.
No, Matt, you haven't made a single payment. There's no way that you set up auto pay. You know what? I really just thought recently, I was like, man, how nice is it that I have a husband? I don't have to do anything. Like, I don't have to worry about bills. No, I do.
Hey, this
Why
one.
am I sitting back relaxing? We have not paid for water.
And you know, I understand like a bill slipping through the cracks, like that can definitely happen, but 7 months? Really? You never got an email or like a letter or anything? Oh, that's why your pussy's so mid. You haven't been able to wash it. All I'm saying is after this point, my brain would have been painting him in a very different light. I also found somewhere I don't think they should have been recording like at all. There's quite a few where he starts recording while she's either sick or, you know, experiencing the joys of pregnancy. He just sees it as like an opportune time for some content.
Holy
told you, I said I don't want to take a nap, and then you said just take a 30-minute nap, and then it's taken me 30 minutes to get out of bed after the 30-minute nap.
Poor Abby is sick and she just threw up all over the carpet. Can I get you anything?
And I get that's how they pay their bills, or maybe not if Matt's the one in charge of it. But I can't imagine my girlfriend like bawling her eyes out on the couch and just walking up like, oh, are you okay? What's wrong? What are you doing? Is something wrong? Are you okay? I don't know what's going on. Like, it's crazy. And they also made a vlog about their 48 hours in the hospital after she had a C-section, where Matt was arguing with her about how to feed the baby.
He didn't have the best time at the hospital. It was really important to my wife that she breastfed our baby, but it was really important to me that our baby got fed.
I'll say it's good that he wants his baby to be fed. You know, I'll always support that, I guess. But I can also see where she probably felt like he was implying that she didn't care about feeding the baby. Babe, your titties have to hurry up. We can't wait on them forever. Maybe your titties are just as mid as your pussy. And I also found out from their podcast that Matt admitted to like not talking to her through this and shutting down.
I just kind of shut down and didn't say anything. Like, I was just like quiet.
Yeah, that was hard for me.
Because I wasn't going to like talk to you about it because I didn't want to like bring you down. But then by me not saying anything, I think that brought you down.
Well, you were bringing me down because you weren't talking to me.
That's true.
Which is really fucking crazy when your wife just had a C-section. Like, that's already rough, not to mention her body's just like, oh, the baby's out? All right, cool. I'm going to make you pee every single time you sneeze. And every time you're alone with the baby, you're going to hear voices. Good luck. She's going to be hearing every single voice but her husband's, I guess. And that seems like a lot for somebody to put up with. And you're probably wondering what their philosophy is to make it through that rough patch.
For us, like, divorce is just not on the table. It's not an option. I think people go into marriage thinking divorce is an option. That's why they kind of work themselves towards divorce subconsciously.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't think like any couple really goes into it thinking divorce is an option. Like, life happens and people change, and sometimes it's not for the better. And I think if you're consistently unhappy, then you have every right to just walk away from it. She does say that there's valid reasons for divorce, which I totally believe that she means that. But I feel like that just invalidates people that are able to mutually agree to walk away without anything bad happening. Like, he's not a good partner just because he's not blatantly disrespecting you or your marriage or trying to ruin your life. That's just normal. That's the bare fucking minimum. So I filmed that a few days ago, and I had a completely different topic to close the video with, but something happened with Matt and Abby that I don't think I could have finished this video without addressing. And you might notice through this video, the one topic I really didn't bring up about them was how they were as parents. You know, I didn't really think it was my place to speak on, being a childless hussy myself. And I also didn't really delve a ton into that side of their TikTok. From what I did see, they at least seemed like competent parents. However, now I'm not 100% sure about that. So this whole thing starts with Matt and Abby joining some family members on a cruise, you know, as you do when you have that sweet TikTok revenue. And I guess through the trip, Abby was like posting on her story just to kind of like talk about how the experience was. But there was one that really got people's attention. So it starts by saying, we ended up taking them for 5 nights and it became apparent that they weren't enjoying it, and therefore we weren't either. And I believe this was in reference to the ship's daycare services, or they were taking their 1 and 2-year-old to see Five Nights at Freddy's, which is super based, and I have no further questions. But Abby shares what their solution was to the kids not being happy, and I hold on to your butts. So then we switched our dinner time to after their bedtime and FaceTimed the monitors while we ate. Baby monitors don't work on board unless you're only like 10 feet away. That worked out much better for everyone. Okay, so I know like reading comprehension and literacy is at an all-time low right now, but to me and a lot of people on the internet, it sounds like they just put the kids to sleep and left them in their rooms. And yeah, I said rooms.
Abby is staying in the room next to ours, so I get this whole bed to myself.
And we do that so that we can have one kid in one room and the other kid in the other room.
Just so you could have a kid-free dinner, like probably across the boat from where you were staying. It is a good thing they were FaceTiming the baby monitor, so if something happened, they could have been there in a split second, but only if they had super speed. And if that wasn't the case and the kids weren't left alone, you'd think Abby would have wanted to like clarify that. Anything to just immediately stop the story from spreading if it is false. But instead she deletes that story. She started deleting comments trying to bring up the story on her other posts, not to mention just going radio silent for a few days. You know, not suspicious in the slightest. I think you got away with it. After you did all that shit, I definitely think you abandoned your kids to go get the cruise ship equivalent of Red Lobster. But don't worry, because after a couple days, they finally made a video addressing the situation. And I'm sorry, but I don't believe a single thing that they're saying.
We usually would not be making a video like this, but there is information circulating about us that is completely untrue. So we just wanted to set the record straight, clear the air because we take our role as parents extremely seriously. And we love our children more than anything in the entire world.
Okay, good. I'm glad we got that out of the way. Now, before we address allegedly neglecting our kids, we need it to be known we really love our kids.
Where this whole controversy started, I guess, is a few days ago, Abby posted on her Instagram story that we were at dinner FaceTiming the baby monitors while our children were asleep in their staterooms. And people started to speculate and believe that we had left our children alone in their staterooms. And that is just completely untrue because we had someone with our children at all times on this boat, period.
I can see where my story did lead to misunderstanding, which is why I ended up deleting it several hours after posting it, is because I could see that it was causing concern and misunderstanding. I do want to clarify that we have not, would not, will not ever leave our children unattended. Our children sleep in these blackout tents every single night, whether or not we're traveling or if we're just home. And even if we are sleeping in the exact same room as our boys, we always turn their monitor on so we can watch and see what's happening inside the tent, make sure they're okay, see if they've fallen asleep or if they've woken up. We just love to have eyes on them. We're always concerned about them. We would turn on FaceTime so we could also have eyes on them as their parents if we weren't the ones, you know, attending them in that moment.
And I don't know what it is, but something feels really off about this. Like, the wording they use is just so odd to me. Like, they're not even confirming, hey, we had this family member, that family member in the room with the kids while we went to dinner. They're using this vague statement like, hey, our kids were attended to and supervised at all times. Why are you being vague instead of just addressing this one specific time that everyone's worried about? I also don't get the whole thing with the baby monitor, because I totally understand wanting one in their tents, but if you had a family member with the kids, couldn't they have just kept an eye on it? Like, if a family member was going to be watching my kids, but I still felt the need to watch the baby monitor, they just wouldn't be keeping my kids. Like, leaving them at the daycare they hated for 5 days was totally fine, but, you know, Aunt Sharon, you gotta watch out for. She'll make them watch Five Nights at Freddy's. And I've seen some speculation on why they were super vague about the whole thing. Like, maybe they had a lawyer or like a PR rep or somebody, and they were being coached on how to talk without confirming or denying that the kids were alone on that specific night. And I've also seen some speculation that this could mean that CPS got involved and they weren't legally allowed to lie about it anymore, which again is all speculation, but given the evidence and their track record, I don't put it past them at all. And of course, there's people that are still allowed to comment on their videos that are fully in support of them. They're just misunderstood and like this is some witch hunt to get them canceled. Which, like, no, I just want them to be held accountable and stop thinking they're smart enough to lie their way out of this. Plus, I guarantee if they actually did this and they were honest and upfront about it, I guarantee they would have had people still defending them like, hey, you know, all new parents make mistakes, you know, we're only human. But I also feel like new parents should just know not to leave a baby by themselves. But instead they took this route, and now they're just going to always be remembered as the couple that abandoned their kids for some shrimp scampi. So good job, guys. What else could you expect from an incompetent, emotionally immature husband and an enabling wife that blames any and everything except for him for the way that he acts? Okay, I think that covers everything I wanted to say about it. I just really felt the need to include this. So let's let the other Zach Morris. Okay, fuck. I think that's all I can really do for today. And the last thing I want to say is if there's anyone out there that's like super ride or die for them that sees this, I didn't make this to be like a scathing expose on like trying to cancel them or anything like that. But that was before I found out they allegedly abandoned their children for some shrimp scampi. So maybe if they lost their platforms and had to get real jobs, like it could do them some good, but you know, who am I to say? Like she said, we don't know their lives or their relationship off camera, but what we do see on camera mildly concerns me, and it's way more information than I think I ever want to know about anybody. But I will say they did teach me some very valuable lessons. You know, I always thought you were supposed to like your spouse and not have to raise them alongside your children, or maybe like not film them in really vulnerable states just to monetize for the world to see. But that's the mind of a marriageless, childless whore, and you're not going to get a podcast with that attitude, let me tell you. All right, that's going to be everything for me today. I actually need to go because my water just broke, and number 16 bus shelter will be here anytime now. So thank y'all so much for watching today's video. You already know the drill. Leave a like and comment if you enjoyed it. Also comment if you have any topics or ideas you want me to talk about in the future, and subscribing and ringing the doorbell would be much appreciated. It helps me and the channel out, and it means the world to me. Not to mention, if everybody subscribes to the channel, I'll be able to buy a new couch that I can film my pregnant wife crying on. So thank y'all again for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
In the house for a very long time. Never I cease, I get better like wine. Soul searching, found me online. No end of my reach, got a hand on the skies. Stop being so emotional, what you smoking on? About time I open up, you can't roll with us. If you want peace, go and throw up the sign.
I'm done. I'm hungry and I need to go to bed, so.